Okay, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to everyone. I think we have 50 people on right this moment, so that's really, really exciting. My name is James Sanderson. It's my great pleasure to be your host, and we run these Zoom calls every week, and we have the most fantastic guests, and not least of which our wonderful, wonderful guest this evening, which is Joanne Harris. So, Joanne, good evening. How are you?
I'm wonderful, James, and thank you so much for asking me to speak on your call. It's lovely.
Oh, wonderful. Now, just before, can we just slightly, your voice is not quite strong, so is the microphone near you?
How's that? Any better?
No, it's a little bit weak still, so...
Hold on. How do I turn it up now? I can shout. Will that help?
Do you have a headphone? I mean, do you have like earphones with a microphone or?
No, I don't. And I'm on an iPad at the moment. Is that possibly why?
Could be.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you just have to speak very loudly. Oh, you can, everybody says that everybody's okay for them. Sound okay for me. All right, maybe it's not okay for... All right, so if we could just project your voice.
No problem.
All right, well, wonderful. So, Joanne, it's such a pleasure to have you on with us this evening. And it's particularly interesting because obviously you are from Northern Ireland and you're also not in, the UK, you're sponsored directly from another country. So it's very, very interesting, but you're making great progress and you just got a lovely way about you, and I can see that you're just going to keep being more and more successful. So it's an enormous pleasure to welcome you. And perhaps I could just start off by asking you just a few questions, just so that people can just understand a little bit about, your background and your context, the context and everything. So I suppose the first question I'd really like to ask is, can you tell us a little bit about your background? So what's been happening with you up until this point?
Absolutely. Well, my background is beauty. I've been involved in the beauty industry now for well over 20 years. I opened my own business in 2003. So I've had a beauty clinic since then. Before Juice Plus, I used to work 60 hours a week. I would have worked every day and 3 late nights. And I mean, if anyone's on the call and they own a business, they'll realize that, it's tough. It's very, very hard going. So Juice Plus has given me, it's a completely different way of life now for me. I've got a son called Ethan. He's 5, married to Sean, and basically I love the Juice Plus product and the business, and I feel really, really passionate about it, and probably that's why I've got so far so quickly.
Fantastic. So tell us, Joanne, a little bit about how you actually, you got started. So how were you actually sponsored, or how did you first hear about Juice Plus? How did this work?
I was introduced to Juice Plus initially by my Botox doctor. So I had a lady who came to the salon, and she was a dermatologist. She was German and she lived in Spain, and just out of the blue one day she said, Joanne, you should look at the Juice Plus business. And I went, oh, really? What's that? And she just told me what the product was, which I thought, wow, love the concept of the product. And my husband and I flew to Spain. We were given the product and the business presentation in my upline Burger Plonga's house. Initially, I didn't know what network marketing was. I was very, very skeptical. I was like digging Sean under the table. I was saying to him, I'm not signing up to anything. This sounds all a little sus, to be honest. And even back then, that was back in 2011, there was no bonuses, and we didn't have a bonus scheme in place. And even then, I thought the business sounded far too good to be true. But afraid of missing out on something, I actually made Sean sign up. So my husband is my upline. And that's how basically we got started in the business. We did very, very, very little to begin with. I had no interest. I took the product, loved the product. Took me probably about 6 weeks to notice any difference in the health. It was like energy, and I used to suffer a lot from mouth ulcers, sore throats, probably working a lot with the public and long hours. So loved the product. But business wise, I didn't quite get what it was. I didn't get network marketing. I am from traditional business background, so you pay rent, rates, staff, overheads, and a business that didn't have all that was quite alien to me. And so Sean just ploughed on. He got to SDD in his first year. I did that with him, you know, probably some sales through the salon. We didn't take any team on board, and we were very unteachable. And we thought we knew better and we'll do it this way. And so we got nowhere fast. So that was a bit of a bad start, but I mean, to me, it wasn't really my business, it was Sean's. Then I started to look at the business in 2013. I was coming 40, and I thought, you know, there has to be an easier way to make money than standing in a salon all day, waxing, tinting, massaging, and the bonus scheme had been released at this time. So 2013, I signed up under Sean, and in 9 months I went straight to NMD and just built a strong team of all like-minded people, mainly a lot of beauty therapists.
Wow, that's an amazing story. I mean, I'm absolutely fascinated, Joanne, by what you said, that shortly after hearing about the business, you went to Spain. So
Yes.
I mean, that's quite a big step for you to decide, right, I'm going to get on a plane and go to Spain and hear about this. I mean,
Well,
what made you get on the plane to go?
Well, really, it was sort of like a weekend away, and I really didn't know much about it, to be honest. And I thought, you know what, we'll go. Cordial was a friend, and we stayed with her, and I thought, you know, well, I'm always open to any sort of opportunity, and I'll always listen. But as I say, the whole network marketing thing to me just was so alien. So what I try and do now is, when I'm telling someone about the business, I try and explain what network marketing is, as opposed to traditional business. I think that's very, very important to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's very interesting. Now, so obviously Sean had been running it, you know, your husband, for a while, and got to senior director and everything. And then you got going with it. And obviously things really, really changed. And you said you went national marketing director in 9 months. And I know everybody on the call is going to say, well, how on earth did you do that? I mean, what did you do? I mean, how did you start off on your journey of that 9 months to get then to NMD?
I was totally excited about the product, about the business opportunity, and about where the business opportunity could actually take me then. And as I said, the bonuses were released. The earning potential is nuts, I believe. And I just feel that I found my niche. I loved network marketing. I loved to talk to people. I loved to meet new people. And people could see the excitement in me. And that's how I got a lot of team. So, I mean, if I could tell anybody in the call, you know, be excited about the opportunity, you know, realize what we have here. And so I signed up lots and lots of people. And I think the key to it all is lots and lots of people doing a little. And that's how I just flew to NMD. I went to absolutely every meeting. I got on every call I could. And when I reached sales coordinator, I mean, as you said, James, I have Birgit, and she's in Spain. So her and I, you know, we talk on the phone and that, but there isn't a lot going on, you know, sort of event-wise with Birgit here. I tapped a lot into Jerry McKinney's events. When I was sales coordinator, I started my own conference call every week. I probably had maybe 2 teams then, but I did that religiously every single week. I went to the Nice conference in 2013 as a sales coordinator. I had 2 teams with me, and I made the decision there and then that I would be NMD for the following February, which was my 40th birthday. And that's when I went to NMD in February.
Wow. So tell us, Joanne, what would your week look like once you started getting going? Because a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm so excited about all this, you know, but I'm not quite sure what I should be doing. So what were you actually doing that gradually began to build so much momentum?
I used every single free moment that I had to build the business. And I also, I learned early on how to drop the Juice Plus business casually into conversation. So I told absolutely every single person that I came in contact with about it. And it wasn't as if I was, you know, pushing it on them. It was just, you know, if someone asked me, how are you, Joanne? I would say, oh, I'm fantastic. My Juice Plus business is going really, really well. It's keeping me really busy. So they would then ask, oh, what's that? So I saw every person I met, and I still do, as an opportunity for team. I concentrate mainly on the business. I obviously have customers. We have lots of customers even since 2011. And mainly premium customers. I mean, we don't do a lot of shakes. But I see everybody I meet as a potential team member.
And Joanne, you're saying, you know, obviously you spoke to absolutely everybody, but did you sit down and make a list of everyone that you knew, or how did you structure it? What were you doing?
Yeah, I did make a list, yeah. And I mean, there's still people on that list that I haven't contacted. I mean, and that's 3 years down the line. But mainly it was just anybody I came in contact with. I know a lot of other therapists, obviously, you know, beauty therapists. And I always feel that, you know, business people, everybody can do this business, but I think people with a good work ethic, you know, and they understand business and they understand time management, things like that, they're always going to be better at it. If I had 5 minutes in between clients, I was either checking up on customers, posting on Facebook. There wasn't one. I had a laugh there about someone watching EastEnders. I stopped watching TV. I just didn't watch any TV anymore. I just constantly worked on my business.
Fantastic. So just take us through. So you were already, you know, as the 9 months started, what did your first month look like? Did you qualify for yourself as a senior director? And how did the procedure work in terms of your promotion?
I went to SDD. I did SDD at the time. It was 3250. I did that by myself.
Over what period?
It probably took. I probably did that in a month. Yeah. But for me, I was in a position where I had clients coming into me on a daily basis. And as a therapist, you're in a position of trust. You have people on the couch. They're normally complaining about they're sick, they're tired, their kids are sick, they need money, they need to lose weight. I mean, our product and business can help all of those. So I believe that I was in a prime position for that. You know, we laugh now. At the time, we used to, you know, was it fax the orders through? Yeah, and I used to fill in the order forms. And Sean, my husband, says I used to come home every day with like between 5 and 10 orders every single day. And again, it was just belief and passion in the product. Yeah,
fantastic. And then tell us a little bit about how you would structure your the arrangement with your team. I mean, were you running events? You said you were running a regular conference call, but were you running events, or what were you doing to pull people together, or weren't you? What were you? How?
We had a weekly. I'm not very technical, so I mean the thoughts of like webinars and things like that would have thrown me. I mean, I had to Google how to do a conference call, and you know. So that kind of thing was sort of, I found that challenging. But no, we had a weekly call. I actually got to NMD without putting an event on. I was always very, very nervous, public speaking, very nervous. And the thought of hosting an event and having to stand in front of a room full of people absolutely horrified me. Then, I mean, I've built up my confidence with that over time. But I was QNMD before I put on any events at all. And then it was just local events with the team. And we just, you know, did them together and, you know, invited people, and it just grew from there.
And so gradually the momentum really, really built.
Well, I felt that the momentum built quickly for me because I signed up so many people so quickly.
Yeah. And how many people do you think, how many people did you sign up, for example, in your first month, do you think?
No, I didn't sign anybody up in the first month because I got the SDD by myself.
Right.
And I, for SC, then I signed up a girl, got her the SDD. And then I signed up another girl who, then I signed her up a week before the Nice conference. So the girl who got the SDD and the new person both came to Nice with me. And then it just, I find from events, you know, people watching, I promote the lifestyle a lot. I mean, if you see my Facebook page, it's very much that I promote that I have a fantastic quite exciting lifestyle, busy, you know, I can bring Ethan to school, I can work this business around that. I'm going to events all the time, and I just create an excitement and a buzz around the events. And when I come home from Nice, I signed, and now I was sales coordinator by this stage, I signed up quite a number of people after that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, some people get a little bit stuck at senior direct, and sometimes people get stuck at any position, but there often is a bit of a sticking point between SDD and sales coordinator. And for people listening to the call saying, yes, I'm SDD, but I really want to get to sales coordinator, what would you say is a critical thing to get up from SDD to sales coordinator?
Team. You definitely need team on board for that. Because, I mean, especially with the volumes and that change, that it's really, you know, and you need that one person at least. But I mean, if you can get maybe 3 people on board, then yeah, definitely try. If I was going to give any advice, try and get team on board from an early time in your business, just immediately if you can.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's great. Yeah, so let's just change our focus a little bit and talk about the daily method of operation, because this is something that we are spoken to an awful lot about, and it seems that we all know that it's a critical element to people building. And some people say, you know, well, I've never heard of daily method of operation. What is that? So can you just talk us through a little bit, Joanne, about what you do on a daily basis and what you teach other people to do? What should people be doing every day, do you feel?
Well, I would always teach team to plan your week on a Sunday. Make sure that you have your meetings lined up for the week, that you even meet people to speak about the product, not just the business. Be professional at all times. Have, you know, if you're speaking to someone about the product, have all the full product range with you. You know, be prepared to give them samples. My DMO daily would be, a lot of my work's done on Facebook, and so I have a number of Facebook pages that I update when I get up. My personal Facebook page isn't always Juice Plus. I do quite a bit into fitness and go to the gym, so I would promote fitness, health, something motivational. I know a lot of people that would watch my page for these types of things. I have a team page that I update regularly. It's like a training group, and we have a support group for customers that we all take part in, and we all try and be as active as possible. I drop, as I said before, I drop the Juice Plus business or product casually into every conversation that I have. And I think this can become an art. You need to teach yourself how to do this. I think personal development is really important as well. You know, and there's a lot of books that I would recommend. Big Al's Icebreakers is really good for, you know, sort of small one-liners. It's an American book, but it's, you know, you can, you know, make to suit your, you know, your language, the way you speak. I don't feel that your Juice Plus business should take you, maybe you should be like 2 hours every day or whatever. If that's the case, it gets stressful. I feel that you should tie it into what you do on a daily basis. Be it if you work in an office, if you're in retail, you know, you're coming into contact with people all the time. So just casually make sure that you're, you know, always speaking passionately and excited about what you do, and you will get people's interest.
Thank you. And then just talking a little bit about Facebook, you know, when you post things on Facebook on the various different pages, obviously you get likes, I would imagine.
Yep.
How do you treat the likes? Do you immediately go back to people on a private message and say thank you, and then seek to develop a conversational rapport with them? Or how do you deal with likes to your posts?
I would always have people in my head that I have, you know, I'd like to target for team. Always. And I would interact with them quite a bit on Facebook, as in I would like their posts, I would comment on their pictures, I would interact with them on certain things, not mentioning Juice Plus, but building relationships. I believe that our business is all about building relationships, and people will join your team if they like you, if they like who you are, if they, you know, you want to be somebody that people aspire to, and yeah, a lot of what I do is all about relationship building. And I mean, I've just messaged a girl that was a customer of mine, possibly about a year now, and she's now come back and she's saying, you know, Joanne, I'm really watching you. I'd like to sign up. You know, so it's a process. It's never just you connect with somebody and 5 minutes later or maybe a week later they want to join your team. It can be a process, and it can be a long process.
Yeah.
And you just, I believe that you know, if you're in it for the long haul, just be patient, interact with people, always be positive, be somebody that people want to be around. And that's how I would attract team.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. So as you, obviously, you know, we're talking about your daily DMO, your daily method of operation yourself. But one of the critical things, of course, about building a very, very big business is developing your team. So, you know, there comes a point, obviously, where you're doing your own activities to attract customers and interact with people and putting posts on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. There's all this whole element of team building. And now, how much time do you focus on the whole element of team building, and how would you define what you actually do in terms of helping to develop your team?
Well, I feel the team will do as you do and not as you say. So, I mean, if I'm walking the walk, you know, if I'm putting on orders, if I'm active on Facebook, if I'm active in the team page and the support group, then team will be the same. So, I mean, and there's this thing of duplication, which is fab. And I mean, this is what we want. We want people to duplicate us. But I also encourage people to find out what works for them. You know, you are your unique selling point. You know, people will buy, there will be certain people that will want to buy from you, James, possibly more than me, because they have a connection with you or an affinity with you for some reason. So you need to find, I do believe you need to find, decide in your head what type of a person that you're targeting for a customer and for a team, and you'll attract those people.
Okay, no, thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. So, you know, obviously there are going to be some people who are very, very new and some people who are just starting, and they be saying, oh, Joanne, what is the number one tip that you would give us starting now with all the experience that you've got? What is the number one tip that you would give someone listening for the first time and thinking, oh, I'm really trying to get my head around this. I've tried a few things and I'm getting moving. But Joanne, tell me, what's your number one tip that you would give me right now for someone just starting?
You have to believe totally in yourself that you can do this, and in the product and business. You have to be totally passionate about the product. I mean, I don't have a very, you know, really wonderful product story, but my product story will help, you know, will relate to certain people. I feel that, you know, the more passionate you are, people can see that, and they'll see that you want to help them with their health. They'll see that you want to help them with their finances. It's not just a business to you. It's something that you absolutely love. So I always say, if you don't have that passion, you need to get it. You need to believe that 57.75 for premium capsules is for nothing. It's asking. Initially in 2011, James will tell you, we didn't sell one premium product, because back then I thought, oh my goodness, it's quite expensive. I don't think I could ask someone for like nearly £60. And then now, when I joined the business, and I then, you know, you go and you listen to Dr. Eccles, and you listen to all, you know, the cancer specialists and all the guys speaking about health. £1.88 per day is very, very little to ask someone for what we're offering, and you need to believe that. So now premium capsules are probably the main thing that builds my business. So okay. Belief in yourself, belief in the business, and events will do that for you. You need to get to the big events.
Yeah, great, Joanne. So just as we're gradually coming to the end of this sort of interview scenario, you're doing so well. And then at about 9, we're going to get into just a few questions from everyone that's listening. So I'm going to invite people, if you've got particular questions, I've seen some coming in on the chat. If you've got more, and then put them in, and then we'll seek to go through as many of them as we can in the sort of 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Yep. So just finishing off our bit, Joanne. Obviously, we've just been to the conference in Birmingham, and you know, and to my mind, you know, was just so blown away by the opportunity we've got now and how things have all come together. But tell us just a little bit about how you see the future, and how excited are you? And, as a business person, where are you at with this in terms of how you see the future unfolding?
James, I absolutely loved Birmingham. I came away, in the NMD meeting, and I loved hearing that, less than 1% of the population take Juice Plus. How amazing is that? There's so much scope there for us. And how the company's growing, and how it's going more international. And I just think that we haven't even scratched the surface of where this business can take us. And I'm so, so proud to be part of such an amazing company. And all these, little companies that come along. And along the way, I've lost, team to different companies. And it knocks your confidence slightly. But when you go to the event and you hear just how amazing our product is, you hear the fantastic speakers, I'm just so proud to be part of it, and just really excited about the next few years, definitely.
Great, fantastic. And then the final question, and this is more, for you as a person, but also as a mother and as a wife. And so what does it mean to you to be free of the 9-to-5 and to be raising your family with Juice Plus?
It absolutely means the world, because Ethan, for the first couple of years of Ethan's life, I was working 60 hours a week. And and I got the NMD when I was working 60 hours a week. So if you don't think you have time, you make the time. If you want this bad enough, and I wanted it, I just lived, slept, breathed, just NMD was just constantly in my head. It was just, I wanted it so much. But being able to leave Ethan to school in the mornings, and just watching him skip up the path is fantastic. Picking him up and being able to sit down, do his homework with him, work the business around that, it's absolutely priceless.
Fantastic. Good. All right. So we're just sort of up to 9 o'clock now. So if you would just don't mind staying with us a little bit longer, Joanne, and there's various different questions that people have got that are sort of coming in, and I would encourage people to send in your questions now. So just, thinking about what you've heard Joanne say, particular questions you might have, I just try and spend just a little bit of time just thinking, well, what question would I most want to ask? Because any question that you ask, I guarantee everyone else wants to ask that question as well. So please just take a moment just to think about what you would like to ask, because this is gold dust, what we've got here with Joanne. So Joanne, just a quick question just from Tony. And when we talk about the cost, he's talking about the cost of, being £200, over £200, obviously, for the premium capsules. Mm-hmm. And what I think he's asking, he says, what is your reaction when they finally buy the cost over £200? Tips to reassure it's really good. So, I know you've already said, look, you've got to believe that it's fantastic value anyway, but what sort of things do you say to people to make them really feel comfortable and really happy about the purchase they're making?
Well, I would lead with the price. So if you speak about the price first, and you say to them, the best thing about our product is the price. For less than £1.90 per day, you can get all this whole food nutrition. And I would actually ask people, what would you spend £2 a day on? And give them time to answer and listen, because most of the time it's rubbish, or a packet of crisps and a bottle of juice or whatever, or coffee. And I would say to a lot of my customers, if you put £2 every day in a little jar or a glass, at the end of the month, you have your money for your Juice Plus. So that £60 could be spent on groceries, on petrol for the car, on a new pair of shoes, whatever your thing is, and you would not see that £2 a day. So if you speak about the price first, then they can't say, oh my goodness, it's really expensive. And
yeah,
always lead with the premium. Always speak about the premium first. And then if the price is an issue, then possibly, then you mentioned, well, there is another option. Would you have fruit and veg?
I love that. Alex Smallman just made a comment. She said, I've been with a client today who buys 2 cans of Red Bull every day at £2.04 per can. And a bottle of wine most days. She got it. Yeah, well, absolutely. So that's a very interesting. I love that, Joanne, about leading with the price. I love that. Gordon and Michelle in Portugal just asked a question, and they say, can you just expand more about how you prospect using your Facebook pages?
I don't, well, I promote the lifestyle. That's what I do. I promote that I have freedom. I bring Ethan to school. I pick Ethan up from school. I can go to the gym. Work is meeting people for coffee. Work's chatting to you guys. How exciting our business is. How exciting the events are. I post lots of photographs. So yeah, I mainly promote the lifestyle that I lead. And just that, I find that would attract quite a number of things, but it takes a while. As I said, it takes a while. You can, people are watching you. They're not even liking your posts, but they're watching.
Yeah. Okay. That's brilliant. And do you have a brand, by the way? Do you have a particular brand that you? No. So it's just different pages for different.
Team Zest. I just promote, and hashtag Team Zest. My beauty salon's called Zest, so I call my team Zest. So okay. The other page, it's just my own personal profile. I have a page that I use to promote the product called Super Sexy Skinny.
Oh.
But it's mainly I would mainly even get customers through my own page.
Okay, interesting. Sophia asks a question. People have a very wrong idea sometimes about Juice Plus, I found lately. How do you overcome that objection? Yeah.
I find where I am in Northern Ireland, there's quite a stigma attached to Juice Plus, and it's because we all know there was a massive growth there, and there was just some people that became distributors. They weren't doing the business properly. They weren't giving out the advice that they were supposed to be giving, and I do feel that we got a little bit of a bad name. But I feel that it's up to us as distributors and as leaders to change that. So we need to be as professional as we can, the way we promote the product. Customer care is massive. I look after my customers very, very well, contact them all the time. And again, customers are where you will get your best team members. I did a customer care call last week in Birmingham it was. Had a fantastic story of a lady whose daughter has arthritis and is having major benefits from our products, and she's going to join the team. So customer care is a biggie, and just be professional at all times, and show people that our product, be a product of the product. Show people that our business and our
sorry, Rebs. I need to get this from the top. Can you pass it over to me?
Sorry, we've got a little bit of someone not on who's joined us is not muted. So let me just see. Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Joanne. Hello, Joanne.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Yes.
So I feel just be professional and treat it as a business. I mean, I love the saying, treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. Treat it like a hobby, it will cost you like a hobby. This is a serious business and deserves the respect of a serious business. And if we all do that, then everybody out there, all the skeptics, will see that we all have something really special.
So do you feel, Joanne, I mean, how do you feel your sort of personal level of energy is going as you get more and more involved in the business, or as you get more and more success? Do you feel you're getting more and more excited as time goes on?
I'll be honest with you, I was so focused on getting to NMD, and when I got there, it's like winning lotto. But you sort of then went into like management mode. I wasn't as, trying to get customers as much. I was concentrating on what team we're doing. And I think that was a mistake. My business definitely slowed down then. And also I've cut back my hours in the salon quite a bit. And so then I didn't have that, connection with people constantly day by day. So I found that more difficult. So I think that you should always look 2 positions ahead. Now obviously I'm working towards IMD, but
why do you say you said look 2 positions ahead? So what do you mean? So if you're SDD now, you should be looking at senior sales coordinator. Why do you say that?
Definitely. Because then you don't want to, when you reach your position, that, you know, you sort of get comfortable and you think, oh, sure, I've got here now. No, you want to be striving to, you know, constantly further yourself and further yourself.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Well, look, I mean, I don't think that we've got any more. Have we got any more questions? Be ready. If you could just send anything further down, that'd be great. I think we've pretty much covered everything. If we haven't, if you just send me a message just very quickly now, and I'll do my very best to include you. But I've got to say, Joanne, that has just been absolutely amazing. I mean, to my mind, you are just so clear in your focus, your intention, your plan, your strategy. And I can just see it's written all over you that you're just so on it. And I can see that we're going to be, you know, recognizing you and welcoming you as a PMD and well beyond. Are you planning to get involved in some of the new countries that are going to be opening?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think that, you know, the world's your oyster with this business. And James, you know, what I do want to say as well, I think it's really, really important to work with other people other than your team. I mean, I think it's so important to work with, yes, obviously sidelines and downlines, but other people from other teams is so important, like what we're doing and what we're doing with Suzanne. And I think that's so important to grow everybody's business.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm an absolutely complete believer in the open source approach that we have. And I think actually that the culture that we have within Juice Plus is something that's often not really talked about, but it is very, very exceptional in terms of everybody's looking out for each other. Everybody's wanting to help each other. And we do have a tremendous sense of sharing. You know, in other companies, it's not like that at all. It's all terribly secret squirrel and hiding and not really wanting to share things. And I think the great thing is that we've all understood that we have an abundance mentality rather than a scarcity mentality. So there's more than enough here for all of us. And as you say, I mean, for goodness sake, only 1% of people are taking Juice Plus in the UK. So, you know, we just haven't even begun.
No.
So, Joanne, thank you very, very, very much indeed for joining us. I mean, it really has been a joy to have you. And we have recorded this, and we will get this out to everyone on Facebook. And obviously, I'll send it to you personally, on, you know, so you can see it. And you can watch yourself again, you know. So, no, you've been fantastic. Honestly, you really, really have been fantastic. So we're just going to finish off now, just very quickly with some upcoming events. And Joanne, I'd be very interested in your feedback about what you're promoting at the moment. So perhaps we could just talk about what we're doing here, and then you can tell us about some of the other events that you are going to be promoting. Just to say very quickly, we've got Team Vision Day, which is coming up in Swindon on April the 9th, Saturday, April the 9th. And that's on Eventbrite. And, you know, that will sell out, but that's on Eventbrite, and that will be amazing. And the idea of the Vision Day is that we have a good amount about the product and the business in the morning. And then we have a panel, and then we spend a quite substantial amount of the afternoon on personal development, and that really seems to work well. And we've got a fantastic guest, which we shall be announcing quite shortly for that day. We also have the new event, which is called The Amazing Power of Plants, which we are starting in London, and that first one is on Tuesday, April the 12th. And if that is successful, then we're hoping to roll that out into lots of different places, and that's particularly very much a customer-focused event. So we're not going to be talking about the business on that evening. It's very much for the customers and very much understanding about, you know, the science of plants rather than all about the science of Juice Plus. So that's going to be very exciting. We also have a presentation in London next Thursday, and every 2 weeks at the Down to Earth Cafe in Kensington. And then if anyone else would like to unmute themselves and tell us about events that you've got coming up as well, then now is your opportunity. So if you have a particular event that you would like to talk about. Yeah.
Hi, James.
Hi.
Just to remind everybody about tomorrow night's business opportunity.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so every Tuesday, starting tomorrow, we've now got a business opportunity call, which will cover both the product and the Juice Plus business. So for anybody, any of your prospects that just want to know more, that's Tuesdays at 9 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. That was wonderful. Is there anyone else? James Knight. James Knight, is there anything that you want to talk about if you're still on the call?
Sue's there.
We might not still be on the call.
I'll tell you about our Hove call. Hove event down in Brighton next Tuesday night at 7:30 with Lottie Bryan.
Okay. And then you've got John Holowati this Thursday.
This Thursday, the 10th,
yes,
which is down in the marina at the casino, and that's also at 7:30.
Fantastic. Okay. And then there's an event in Wales coming up very shortly, I think, on the... Gordon, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm down in Wales this coming Sunday on the 13th with Sue and I believe James Knight, and we're doing a back to basics training.
Oh, wonderful. That sounds amazing. And where's that going to be?
It's in Cardiff. It's the flyers on the Team Aquila page and also on the Team Dragon page.
Yeah, Michelle, just very quickly, someone just asked, what's the idea of the call that you mentioned?
It's on our team page.
Okay, thank you. It's on the team page. So that's on the Aquila team page.
Yeah.
And if you're not on that page for any reason, you can get in touch with me and I'll let you know what that is. Yes, we will be posting the Facebook. We would be posting the replay on Facebook. That's good. All right, Joanne, are you still there?
I am indeed, yes.
Oh, Joanne, fantastic. You're so wonderful. So what events are you focused on at the moment, just to finish off now?
Well, I'm actually working with Michelle Morris, who she's EMD, and her and I are putting on monthly events in Belfast. We've had John Holowati over, and we're having Cassie Smith. She's coming over at the end of April, 26th. March, she's coming, the end of March, this month she's coming, 26th of March. April is a really busy month. We have the 8th of April, an event with John Holowati in Dublin. The 23rd, 24th and 25th, we have the Dublin Conference. Then the 30th of April, we have Susie Mitchell coming over, and she's doing some motivational stuff, and that's for SCs and above, and some training on reports and things like that. So yeah, April will be nuts, which is great. And I mean, if anybody has any people in and around Belfast, Northern Ireland, please just give me a shout, and I look after them at events and things like that. I'm more than happy to do that. And then again, we haven't got a speaker for May as yet, but there'll be a big event every month in Belfast.
That's fantastic. And thank you, Joanne. And James Knight, very quickly, are you still on the line? James, if you've got to unmute yourself. James, are you there? Are you there, James? No, it doesn't seem to be. Well, I know he's got a Scandinavian tour coming up quite soon, so look out for that. So, Joanne, just very quickly to finish off, where do you look to find events on Facebook? What's the main place you go to? Because obviously there are a number of different events pages. Which one do you use most?
The Events Worldwide. Juice Plus Events Worldwide.
Juice Plus Events Worldwide. Okay.
And I mean, we would always then post our flyer and that, and the Juice Plus Distributors page. And then we have a Juice Plus Ireland page as well. Yep.
Okay. And do you know, just very quickly, you've got the Ireland Conference coming up the 23rd to the 26th. Do you know who's speaking at that? Obviously, yourself, Jerry.
James Knight. We're lucky enough to have James over. Emma Buckley. And nobody else confirmed. Hopefully that'll be about this. The link's just released.
Okay.
So hopefully that will be this week, James. We'll hear more information.
And that again is on Juice Plus Events Worldwide, is it?
Yeah, that will be, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, everyone. Well, look, Joanne, thank you so much. We've taken up so much of your time, but you have been amazing.
Anytime.
And the last section is always so good in terms of, the questions. But look, I think that's been wonderful. So we'll be posting that very shortly onto Facebook. And we'll be back again next Monday. But in the meantime, don't forget the call tomorrow night, the Zoom call tomorrow night, which will be amazing. I know Gordon is presenting the business, so that will be absolutely outstanding. And we look forward to seeing everybody soon. So thank you, everyone. Hope you got something very valuable out of it. I certainly did. I found it absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Thanks, James.
Great, Joanne. Thank you very, very much indeed. All right, take care. Thank you, everyone. Good night.